Well, hi. Hi, everyone. It's me. Woohoo! It's Dr. Whimsy here live after spending a week off recovering. I am here. Hopefully, everybody can see me okay. Everybody can hear me okay. Wow, what a nightmare that was. Oh, I just getting messages from people. I had 4 wisdom teeth removed for those people who don't know what was going on. Blitz, blitz, you are up to it. Of course I'm going to blitz today. It's kind of funny to read some of the comments that I got from people. Somebody had said, well, natural medicine obviously doesn't work because I was back at work after 3 days. Well, I was back part-time, but I didn't want to go live. Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. If you were back at work after having 4 wisdom teeth pulled, like in a day or two, then what you had that I did not have is called drugs. I did not want to take any opioids, so I refused the drugs, which it's kind of interesting when you refuse to take any opioids after you've had 4 wisdom teeth pulled and your doctor says, no, seriously, this is one of those times when you're really going to want the opioids. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I think I'll just take some Advil, maybe some THC syrup, right? Because THC syrup is not going to be as addictive as an opioid. Doesn't do much for the pain, but it'll put you to sleep. Anyway, so it was kind of interesting seeing my cat's reaction because Mila likes to cuddle. And, day 2, day 3, after the pain relievers wear off, and you're sitting there with ice and everything hurts and you're not taking opioids, all you've got is Advil. And I'm trying to I was trying to communicate in my cat language. Don't touch me, I'm in pain. So I started making this noise like, because I knew she would understand a whale. So every time she would get close to me, every time my cat would get close to me, I would be like, oh, yeah. She was like, what the heck is wrong with you, Mom? So that's kind of what happened there. Hi, Gina. Good to see you. I'm feeling a lot better. Hi, Misty Rose. I was so terrified that I was going to get that dry socket. Y'all know about this dry socket where they pull it out and it stays dry, and the bone and the nerve. So I did everything that I was supposed to do. I did my water pick with my saline solution. It was awesome. Now I've gotten into it. Now I really like the water. The thing was sitting there and I was never using it. It's one of those expensive purchases, right? The water pick. You purchase it and then you just sit there. I don't want it. It's messy. But then once you figure out how to use it, it's pretty good. I hear it's an unbearable pain. Like there's a reason why they give you opioids. It's unbearable pain even without a dry socket. If you had no Advil, if you had no opioids, THC Slurpees. That's what it's this Slurpee stuff, 1,000 milligrams in, I think it's 2 ounces, 4 ounces. That is a lot of THC. But after 45 minutes, if you take the Slurpee, you're like, oh, you just fall asleep. Has anybody ever gotten their genetics tested through like 23andMe? Yeah. I did. And they say things like, you have higher than normal statistics for curly to wavy hair. It's kind of interesting. But one of the things that they had said in my report was that I had gotten an asterisk that said, your genetics, you're at higher risk than average to become addicted to opioids. Like the risk that this person would become addicted after one or two tries of opium is higher than the national average. Like I'm in the top whatever percentile. Like my ancestors would have been in the opium den and they would have never left. So I saw that, and I see the situation in the United States with the opium problem. And I thought, am I going to play with my genetics? Because we have a family history of drug and alcohol addiction in the family. I don't personally drink. I don't care for it. But it had me really concerned. So I was determined that I wasn't going to do anything. And so I could have gone live, after 3 or 4 days, but do you really want to see me live going like this? Oh, oh. That was the noise I made for my cat. Oh, and she'd be like, my goodness, Dr. Anderson. But this feels good just going like this. All right, whenever everybody is ready, we are playing Blitz here. If anybody wants to play Tooth Fairy, donations are greatly appreciated. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, be sure and share, like, subscribe. I would love that before we get started. I have not done a community reading for people because Sunday, I never cancel a Sunday unless I have to, but I really had to. Would people like to get a community reading before we do some blitzes? There's quite a lot going on right now, isn't there? We have the well, Sherry, it was in my bag of goodies. They had the dental floss, the toothpaste, and then I saw when I got home that there was a prescription and it was, oh, thank you, Redwoods. You are my tooth fairy. Yes, thank you. Tooth fairy. $2,600. That's what it costs to have all 4 removed. But here's the thing about it. They gave me the choice of being put to sleep, like putting you under. And, you could save money if you were like, no anesthesia, just do it the old-fashioned way. Give me a fifth of whiskey and just pull it, right? That's the way they used to do. But I'll tell you, if there's anything you're willing to spend money on in life, it's pain relief. Don't mess with it. Death can be enjoyable. Thanks to modern medicine, death can be a very enjoyable experience. That's actually what a Tibetan monk was saying recently. Or no, it was the Dalai Lama was saying that people don't have to be afraid of death because he's visited people in hospice many times, and he said the drugs are great. Now, Dalai Lama has a great sense of humor. He's like, you're going to be feeling no pain. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's good. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate the donation. So, yeah, it was interesting. So I paid for the IV. I said, just put me down. It wasn't an opioid, and not that I would be able to get this stuff anyway if I wanted it, but it was Versed and something else, benzodiazepines, which I don't have a genetic whatever for. But they put the IV in, and I was talking to him, and he was checking everything. And I have a very low tolerance of pain as well, Robin. Let me tell you that right now. I've been told, J9 Como, do not do it awake. But here's the thing. So I was talking to him and he was doing the injections, the pain relief injections. And I remember he had done that. It gets foggy after that. And I said, why do you have to put the Novocaine in my teeth if you're putting me to sleep? He said, oh, we do that or something. And that was my last memory. And then I have a memory of him yanking really hard on one of them, and then me getting comfortable and changing position, and then yanking really hard. And then the guy leaves, the dentist leaves, and I'm kind of like out of it a little bit. And I say to the assistant, do you know how long this thing is going to go on for? Like, I'm thinking like I've been there 5 minutes or whatever. And she said, oh, the procedure is now over. We're just washing your teeth, the teeth, and we'll let you see the teeth. So, yeah, I was out. And if you have to have it done, my advice is pay for everything. Oh, thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. Thank you for being my tooth fairy. So yeah, thank God, no bad anything. Everything's cool. I think we're going to start us off with a community reading, and this applies to anybody who is watching. At the time you watch this video, this community reading will apply to you. We'll go ahead, we'll do the empath prayer, and let's just go ahead and see if the universe has a special message for us today. Does that sound good? I think it sounds pretty good. All right. All right, I want to call on white light protection from myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together we say, Amen. All right, before we get started in the community reading, I already know a lot of what you guys are going to want to talk about, and I'm already getting requests. So somebody had asked about Andrew Cuomo. I think we'll definitely look at that. The other thing that has been coming up for people, and rightly so, people are freaked out about what's going on in Afghanistan. Evidently, since U.S. troops have withdrawn, the Taliban has taken over more and more cities in Afghanistan. So I think we'll go ahead and look at that today. There was something else people wanted to check on the latest on January 6th, but specifically people are wanting me to go in and access information from the perspective of Merrick Garland. So I'll be doing that as well. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. You know, it's interesting, when I went into the energy of Andrew Cuomo, the last reading, I saw a woman taking over, and it's a woman that's taking over his position. The other interesting thing about Andrew Cuomo is that he had a real distaste for younger women, like to a point where it actually turned him off. In the sense that he liked older women. He liked women who were divorcees and discreet. And it was kind of interesting when you went into his energy as a remote viewer. He kept saying, I don't like the kiddos. I don't do the kiddos. Goes into the psychosis of somebody like Andrew Cuomo. When you're that kind of narcissism where you think you get to decide the whole. And I guess one of his interns that he had harassed, he had said to her, well, I could go as low as 22. Like, you're shot in the foot because you're 22, but I'm willing. It just goes back to the psychosis of that individual that, he thought any of this was appropriate, or I don't know. So we'll look at him. All right. So we did the empath prayer, right? We did the empath prayer, right? We did, right? Yes, no? Remind me. There's a lot going on here. Right, Cheryl. That was the whole thing that was interesting, was that he what he had said to her was like, even though you're young, even though it's not my flavor, I'm willing to do this. And as if, number one, he gets to decide, and number two, as if she was interested. She was just doing a person trying to do their job. And this person, obviously with mental health issues, walks in with this story. And I think that that's what's interesting about these types of personality disorders, is that they tell themselves stories. And I'm not high, Catherine. I was during the first couple days. I was, but not on opioids. Not on opioids. Okay, let's do the community. What is going on? You missed the empath prayer? I'm sorry. Amen. No, it was because somebody had asked about Andrew Cuomo, so I got pulled into that. But we're going to do the community prayer first. What is the message for the group today? Where we are at right now together as a group. I'm feeling like everyone's feeling a little antsy. This is happening a lot with COVID. You know, we're all feeling a little bit stressed. Maybe we're feeling that we're a little too confined because we keep having to go into lockdown, come out of lockdown, go into lockdown. The karma card is feeling like we're in a situation that's stuck. It's interesting because the base card is the world. So the world opens up for us. I think the good news about the vaccines is that the vaccines are holding, in the sense that even if you if you say you got vaccinated with the Pfizer and you do get a breakthrough infection because of this is happening with people who have compromised immune systems. People with healthy immune systems will be able to make adequate antibodies after the vaccine. But even in those people that are having breakthrough infection, we're not seeing it being life-threatening. Either they're asymptomatic or mild symptoms. So it feels to me like the world is opening up, and it actually feels to me like travel is going to be picking up again, despite everything that's going on with the Delta. You can feel that nice world energy moving in for us. Where we're at right now, decisions are having to be made. Tough decisions, my friend. Tough decisions. Regarding, there it is, COVID. Each of us is going to have to decide what we consider an appropriate level of risk for ourselves, right? So we have the judgment card here regarding COVID. So you want to make necessary precautions. If you've looked at the risk, right? We believe in science here, right? That's our gig, right? We believe in science. So the science says that if we are vaccinated and if we take the necessary precautions, mask, etc., then we should be fine. So if you've done that, then we need to get on with our lives. I think that that's basically what Fauci is saying, what the scientists are saying. But you do still have this COVID energy. Unfortunately, it's because a lot of people didn't get vaccinated. Lovely energy moving up in for us. Ace of Swords moving into our fourth house. Fourth house is the energy coming in, and that's a card of victory. So if you're battling anything, if you are in a battle for justice, um, then justice is headed in your direction. In plain words, if you have been the victim of an injustice in the past and you are fighting to be victorious against this thing that has happened, if you're fighting the good fight, you're going to win, because you can see the Ace of Swords sits in the fourth house. You've got a serious decision to make about your safety and security. You've got love and opportunities of love, relationships deepening, success and victory coming out of, look at this, triple aces. We pulled triple aces. Look at that. Triple aces for the group. Great job opportunities. Now is the time to be making money. Now is the time to be making money off the new economy. Trillions of dollars have now started to be released from the feds going into construction, infrastructure. All 50 states will benefit. I think they're talking about extreme poverty is going to be eradicated. That's exciting. But you can see that lovely three aces coming in for all of us. Financial security and job opportunities. If you have a lawsuit or if you're fighting to get some money back right now and it's active, it will probably fall in your favor. And love. Don't overwhelm yourself in terms of romantic relationships or even in terms of any kind of social situations. Take one relationship at a time. If you're feeling anxiety or like it's too much too soon, a lot of people are feeling introverted energy. Just go ahead and have your get-togethers be smaller. Don't overwhelm yourself. Your business cards are excellent, though. Look at that. Got some nice, solid business cards here and some nice, solid business cards here as well. You're smart with the money, smart with your investments. Hopes and fears. Looking for a truthful ally, somebody that you can truly trust and be trustworthy towards. To love and be loved, but also this is about the trustworthy person, the bridge over troubled water, what we seek, right? And then the final outcome for us, job offer, job opportunities, messages regarding coin and money coming your way. The clarification, do not waste what life you have left just stressing yourself about people that don't care about you, don't respect you, and don't respect your life and your life's values, because you've got a Five of Swords moving into the seventh house. Don't sweat the small stuff. Every day you wake up, you make a determination that today is going to be a great day. Nine of Pentacles also over your finances, self-confidence, success over your retirement. There's this message from Spirit that in the ways of love and romance and relationships for you, be very clear about what it's going to take to make you a trustworthy person who does what you say you're going to do. This is talking a lot about trust. And then don't play games, right? And then looking for that trusting relationship in another person. If you approach it from this perspective, this could be a really good year for you in terms of love, potential for love and very meaningful relationships, just overall, just trustworthy, meaningful relationships. Good cards. All right, so that is the collective reading for the group today. What do y'all think of that? Well, Marie Hansen, was that your birthday, Marie? If it was happy birthday, Marie Hansen got a nice steak dinner. So that's what I mean. People being nice to each other. I do live a great life. I'm thinking of writing a book called The Happy Spinster. See, they want women to believe that being a spinster is a terrible thing and your life is so sad. And it's not, that's has nothing to do with reality at all. All right. So the first question, I think we'll go ahead and I'm a happy spinster. That's right. I think I'm happier than most of my friends who got married. Most of my friends who got married are pretty depressed. They can't do what they want. They feel controlled. Both men and women, right? Everybody, it's hard to not fall into that trap of expecting the other person to do certain things or no bueno. Okay, so let's take a look at the future of Gavin Newsom. Thank you, Tia. Thank you for saying I look good. Yeah, give myself a good week off. You don't have to be alone if you're a spinster. You can put the open sign on, right? You can put the open sign on. You can make yourself attractive, and the open sign is just being respectful to the persons you're interested in, right? If you're interested in guys, then you put the open sign on. You go on a nice singles cruise. Treat people with respect. Flirt a little. It's not particularly hard. You'll get a call. It's not, you don't have to be alone. I figured it all out. I prefer queen. Andrea likes crone. I like queen. It's maiden, mother, queen. I'm the queen now. I figured it all out. All men want is respect. Oh, welcome to the elders, empaths and healers. Oh, I was going to say, yes, be sure and join. We would love to have more fairies and angels, more elders and empaths and healers. We're doing all kinds of fun things. We're learning to do natural medicine. Oh, they unsubscribed you because I canceled the elders and I mixed the elders and HCRV together. And then I'm just doing kitchen table natural medicine stuff. If you join the empaths and elders, you get to have the kitchen table wisdom, natural medicine. We made tooth oil the other day. Yeah, I mean, like I have romance. It's like you guys got to see. I went to Australia. I had a wild romance. It was fantastic. And then I got to go home. I don't want somebody coming home with me. Maybe. But it's okay. It's okay to not have anybody. You're not, I think that that's a myth. Like, who invented that you have to be depressed or unhappy just because you're a woman who didn't get married? Just don't participate in that. You don't have to participate in that silliness or that crap that you can't get a guy. That's all bullshit. Guys know they're not perfect. Most guys are not assholes. Most guys, it's like, yeah, I'm not 25 either. You know, it's like they just want a kind woman who's going to treat them. I'm talking about normal men. They want what you want. Just respect me, be kind, be honest, don't play games, right? That's what most normal people want in relationships. I can do that. I can be respectful, right? You can be respectful. We can create positive relationships. Or we can choose to be alone. It's always a choice, right? All right, what's going on with Gavin Newsom? Is he going to be okay? What a strange energy around that guy. I mean, like, his ex-wife is insane. Strange. All right. I don't think anything's going to happen to him, but potentially the people that started this problem with Gavin Newsom, somebody might be going to jail. There's some weird investigation going on. He's got the karma of the Two of Cups, which is the sacred contract. So that's why I don't see him leaving. And then Four of Swords in the grave. But it feels to me like this type of attempts, this dirty business from the Republicans and trying to go after Democratic leadership, etc. Those super PACs that are doing stuff like that, they seem to not be entirely legal. So, yeah, Newsom is confused about what's going on. Knight of Cups. He works hard. Look at that. There's a big part of him that's just focused on the business of California business. Yeah, getting people back to work. He's very much focused on the economy and very much focused on getting people back to work, and the stimulus package and the economic future of he feels like they're going to be in a positive place in the next 6 months because of how they've set things up. Two of Pentacles. There's some kind of an accusation here that he's been questionable, that there's some questionable behavior or corruption that came up. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. What are you guys talking about? Sometimes I go back to the conversations and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, interesting that. Okay. Welcome to Elders and Empaths, Katie. Yes, another healer has joined us. Yay! Hello, Katie. Or as I'm calling anyone who donates today, a tooth fairy. Yes. You know, it's weird. 4 teeth that I used to have are now gone. And I have a tiny little mouth. You wouldn't know that. I do. Whose cat? Sorry, someone's cat? Someone's having a problem with their cat? I don't think Gavin Newsom is going anywhere. Hmm. Well, that's the thing of why they took them out, was because they're putting in Invisalign and it's going to all straighten out, and then they're going to put uh, I don't know what that is. They're all going to be beautiful. I'm going to have a Hollywood smile. I'm feeling it hurts. I can see why they give people opium. Yeah, I've been doing the saltwater rinse. Yeah. That's a really good question, Michelle. Child endangerment. There's a couple things going on with COVID-19 in children. Um, as you guys know, I do my continuing education through Johns Hopkins and through a couple of the other schools that are offering continuing ed. I don't think, based on what I know of the vaccine, there's any reason they can't lower the vaccine age. I don't think anything spooky is going to happen. I think they could safely go down to at least the age of 7. But based on my understanding of child immunity, I think at 5, probably even age 3, they could go down. But I think a lot of the concerns about children is I think more parents would feel safer if their children were vaccinated than not vaccinated, particularly when you're looking at these virulent forms like the Delta and the Lambda version. Oh, Sharon, the elders used to be $24.99 and empaths used to be $6.99, and then I combined them for $9.99 because it got to be silly to do health videos and then HCRV separate. And also, I felt like the elders were being charged too much, and that the HCRV was being charged too little. So I just combined them. Yeah, there's a couple things you can do for bladder control. All right. So, no, I don't see Gavin Newsom leaving. In terms of COVID-19, like I said, I think that a lot of parents, if it were me and I were a parent and they lowered the age and I had a child, I would be carrying my child to get vaccinated, because a lot of the people in ICU right now are children. And that's just because they couldn't get vaccinated. And the concern is that Delta is not only more virulent, more aggressive, but potentially more dangerous. So that's the story there. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll look at COVID, Delta, strictly for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people got unsubscribed from this channel. So just make sure that you are subscribed. That would be great. And join us. Become a member. Become one of life's special people. Oh, somebody gave me a very nice donation. Who was that? I have a very friendly tooth fairy. Oh, Tamara Rose. You are my fairy godmother. Oh, Miss Lindsay. We should check on her, shouldn't we? Miss Lindsay. Ooh, I love my Miss Lindsay. Thank you for that donation, by the way, for being my tooth fairy today. Okay, so what are we doing now? What are we doing next? COVID-19. Yeah, so let's just check. I want to see about I want to see what's going on in terms of the direction it's headed in, if it's going to get better, worse, the same. Hi, my love. How are you? because we don't know until, oh, Miss Brazil, you spent $30K on your tea. Thank you so much, you friendly little tooth fairy. Oh, Miss Brazil. I don't think it's going to be $30K, but oh, thank you, John. You guys are so sweet. You take such good care of me. I do appreciate it. I have a good feeling about the Delta vaccination. I do. I think the vaccines are working really well. Thank you, John Franz. Good to be back. All right. I'm seeing a new vaccine being produced by Germany, and it's like a 2.0 Pfizer is coming out. That's what I'm seeing. The good news is no trouble getting money for research. It looks like financially everything's okay. The anti-vax people, this is starting to look like religious fanaticism. It's starting to look like people that it went against their religion or their dogmatic beliefs that they had about COVID. Those are the people that will die. It goes back to this idea that when a culture cannot adapt, when it can't, if you have a stress on a society and the society is unwilling to change, then a society will collapse. And that's unfortunately what's happened with COVID. No matter what, they are not going to get vaccinated. And so as the strains potentially become more and more virulent, those extreme cults or extreme views will die out. It kind of reminds me, as an anthropologist, when we look at archaeological digs in ancient Jericho and these ancient societies where they were so strict and extreme that they died out. They were not able to continue, these religious extremist groups, because their fanaticism made their lives, it didn't allow for, they were not adapted to survive. So you have like in the grave. Everybody that is vaccinated is going to be fine, and it will go its way. The coronavirus will die out, and those people refusing to get the variants that are stronger and stronger and stronger will eventually, unfortunately, kill out those people. It looks like that refuse to be vaccinated. That's what it's saying. Thank you very much, Katie, for the heart and for the donation to the Tooth Fairy Fund. I appreciate that. So, yeah, it's in the grave. This is all. It really does look like primitive churches that only believe if all you need is faith, that God is going to protect them from all diseases, that all man-made interventions are bad, that you just have to pray away the virus. Those types of communities are going to die out. That's basically what it says. Okay, so I don't think we did look at Andrew Cuomo, did we? Even though that was the first on the list, I don't think we ever did. Yeah, doesn't good for you, by the way, Miter, that you're taking the medicine you need. Um, Sometimes when we love ourselves, it means taking the medicine. I mean, there's such a stigma against taking, if you have to take antidepressants or any kind of medication like that. And I think that's unfortunate. Okay, so Andrew Cuomo. I know Mila wants to know about it. Oh, it's a shame. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, let's take a look at what's going on with Andrew Cuomo. What is going on with Andrew Cuomo? There are people that believe like that, though, that through faith alone, God will heal all things. And so we have a new fairy. There's a new fairy in our midst. Hello, Diane. Now, you know, Diane, if you become a fairy and an angel, we have to ask, are you fairy or angel? Are you fae or angel? Most of us are a little bit of both. Fairies like to make mischief and angels are good. We all know the Oracle of Whimsy is more a fairy than a angel. Okay, so this is regarding Andrew Cuomo. Another fairy or an angel. We don't know which. Hello, Mel. Welcome, welcome. You know, his brother's Chris, yeah. It's interesting when you go into this energy on Andrew Cuomo because it feels like I feel as Andrew Cuomo because I'm an empath, right? So I always put myself in the shoes of the subject. I feel as Andrew Cuomo that my friends and family are very disappointed in me and they're very disappointed in my behavior. And I'm afraid and worried for how I have shamed my family and my friends and my community. Oh, hello, Miss P. Martins. Welcome. Another elder, an empath, and healer. We welcome you. So you can see here we have a 6 of Cups for Andrew Cuomo. So that's like a desire to come back again, come back to the old love. So if he has to go and apologize to his staff, this is that type of energy. He has to apologize to his family this is like a village, his family. It's a community. There's a lot of people that he represents. When you get into this energy, like Thanksgiving, there's 40, 50 people at the house, right? So I feel there's a cousin and a nephew and an aunt and an uncle. When I sit in his shoes, when I am Andrew Cuomo, I feel like I have to go and apologize to those people because you're the hope of your family, right? You're the person that you got to represent, right? That's how I feel, and I didn't represent, and so my biggest pain as Andrew Cuomo is that I misrepresented. I shamed my family. Now they're all going to have to deal with the blowback. That's what he's talking about, the blowback, the consequences of this. So he goes back and apologizes to them for what he has put them in, trying to heal the situation. He put his family in a very bad situation, his brother in a very bad situation. There's also some concerns about misappropriation of funds or just how he handled certain things in a reckless manner without, he was too reckless. You know, his attitude was very reckless, and that recklessness uh, is also something that people had some challenges with. And then we're going into returning to sane judgment. Yeah, I think he got a little trigger happy with his power, and there are all these Cuomos. There are all these people, dozens, hundreds of them, that are related to him, cousins, nephews, aunts, nieces. I see all these people, and it's a clan. It has a feeling of being like a clan, and that's the worst part of all. Is it's just this old world view that we of how we shamed ourselves before the community when the sun comes out, the heartbreak and feelings of betrayal from the family. And that is the most difficult thing of all. You know, I think that he will retire. I think that it'll be a quiet time. I think that he will have some problems with his finances because he's going to have to reassess some of his finances looking at that. I think he's going to also have to deal with some personal lawsuits that are going to start coming his way. I think he's going to write a book, which is going to be like My Culpa, and he's going to have to admit to a lot of stuff, similar to Michael Cohen. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. One of the reasons why he's going to have to go through My Culpa, go through all of that, is because of what it did to his family. That's basically what I see in the records. All right, so the next subject, I know, it's sad, right? Yeah, you know, he could have done some really great stuff, but he got cocky, and now his family, the clan that he's, you know, the 40, 50 people, the elders that put their reputations on the line when they put up the money, when they backed you, members of this family, it's all reflecting on them now. So when you sit at that table with these people that knew your father, knew your grandfather, I mean, like, it's a very big deal energetically to go into that room as an empath. It's no bueno, right? They can forgive affairs, right? They get it. This is about public displays and shaming the family and the trust and people's kids coming home crying from school. It's like you don't want to be in the middle of that. So that's what that is. Okay, so the next question came up. People have been very, and rightly so, concerned about the U.S. troop from Afghanistan. As many of you know, the United States went into Afghanistan and became pretty active. First, we were supporting the Taliban, right, because they were fighting against Russia. Then we went in and took the other side, et cetera, et cetera. So now it's a bizarre situation. On the one hand, you have China, who wants to open up trade with the Taliban, and then you have Russia wanting to get back in. Then you have these private armies, where the function of the private army is that the private army gets paid money to make sure that stuff can move through these areas without anybody hurting the convoy, right? So the future of Afghanistan, the future of trade, human rights, etc. These are all subjects that people are concerned about with the U.S. Troop withdrawal. So 3 more cities fell to the Taliban in the last 24 hours. Let's take a look. Okay. The feeling here when you go in is that it's about paying a toll to use the roads. That's the best way to describe it. The best way to describe it is that if you're going to be coming in, if you're going to be using these roads, some of these are old Soviet roads, they're trying to develop new roads, etc., then there's a feeling that if you're going to go into our territory, you have to pay a toll or something to use the road. So it goes back again to this idea of private armies. So if you really want to get along good with the Taliban and you want to continue to do trade in Afghanistan based on these cards, I would say pay them what they want. They don't want to fight you, but they want to be paid. You know, it's about respect, securing the roads, being paid, it's a lot about respecting and not coming into certain areas. This decision seems to be about international trade, which is what I always thought it was about. If China goes in and Russia goes in with these types of cards, I think that they'll be able to control the situation because it looks like it's more a business relationship. They're not trying to change the ideology of the people of Afghanistan. That's not what those cards are saying. It looks more like people just want to do business in the area and trade and bring trade in and out of Afghanistan. And like the people that run the roads want to get paid and want to make sure that everything is kosher. So I think in a way, it feels to me like there's 3 regions in Afghanistan and that a kind of peace emerges where everybody agrees to just trade peacefully. So some kind of resolution is going to happen in Afghanistan, I feel. Mary Tyzik, is she the one that's taken over for Andrew Cuomo? All right, Michelle. What's her name, Michelle? Well, let's see what's going on with Andrew Cuomo's replacement. Oh, sure. Okay. What is going on with her? How's she going to be doing? Kathy Hochul. There's a really serious, aggressive investigation going on that has nothing to do with Kathy Hochul. It's almost like she showed up and she's in the middle of something and then. So people have to realize that there's been a lot of crazy corruption uh, in New York. I mean, they had an AG that was raping and strangling people. He had to go. Then they had another person that was doing something with prostitutes. Then you had Trump getting dirt on these people. It was cray cray. I feel like she's just focused on her business. There is a strong ethical value here, but a big major attack starts to happen. Look at this. A Nine of Wands moves in for her. And then this aggressive energy. It's almost like her offices get raided. It almost feels like the it's almost like the governor's offices get raided and she has nothing. It's like she wasn't even informed. Like, what the hell? So there's other things going on here that people don't know about, including the new governor. Yeah, there's just some corruption, some investigations. I don't even know if it has to do with Andrew Cuomo, but there's just a lot of crazy investigations and stuff going on overall in that part of the world. I don't see her staying. This is not a permanent position. I don't see a future for her as the governor. Wow, crazy. Yeah, but the thing is she doesn't want to be the governor. If she did, she doesn't now. All right, folks, I've been here for an hour. I think I'm going to go back to cleaning the apartment. I let it be a little remiss. Yeah. Well, I mean, she'll stay until the next I don't see her replacing him. Why did people think she was a bad person? I don't get that she's a bad person. I get that she has nothing to do with this, but it's a sweeping changes happening in the governors. Oh, I look great. Thank you. Yeah, she's a Democrat, but she's not suited to this. This is not the place for her. Oh, really? Well, this is kind of like a massive raid occurs, and she's like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And it's some guy. I think it has to do with Cuomo and this other stuff that's going on, but there's also an investigation into some money. Somebody got in trouble with some money, a judgment. So we will just have to see. Thank you, everyone who decided to join our subscriptions. I really appreciate that. And thank you all my friendly tooth fairies who, yes, I got some nice donations under my pillow today. That was very, very, very sweet and very helpful. All right, if you're still trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. I would love to give you a reading. And be sure and check out all the other readers that are out there. There's some great ones. And I will see you next time. All right, peace out, everyone. Be well. Bye. Oh, stream here.